It is Kyle Henderson of Bama Football on YouTube coming to you on Tuesday night, November 25th. This is our evening show for the college football playoff reveal. Now, how this is going to work, if you haven't been here before, as soon as ESPN releases the updated bracket, we will post the updated bracket on this board. We will talk about the new updated bracket. What you are looking at right here is the bracket from last week. And considering that there wasn't a lot of movement within, wins and losses, I would imagine that this bracket does stay the same. But I do have some questions for you that I'm going to pose as we wait for the bracket to be updated tonight. Now, with that said, I think it's scheduled to start at 6. I don't think that's going to happen. There's a basketball game taking place right now, and we got about 12, 13 minutes before halftime. So, in basketball, time, that could be 15 to 25 more minutes. So what I'm going to do on this particular video, I'm going to run through a couple segments and ask you a couple questions before we get to the actual playoff show, and I'm going to open up the call-in line. So if you want to call in, before and ask questions. If you have a question regarding the Iron Bowl, if you want to talk college football in general, if you want to talk the playoff bracket, or if you want to rag on Notre Dame or ask me anything, I will do that. So let me kind of get to my segment real quick about the college football playoff, some things that are on my mind. And of course, we will be live tomorrow at 10 a.m. and we will have a Wake Up Bama podcast rolling out on Wednesday morning at 4 a.m. So a lot of moving parts, always moving projects right here on Bama Football on YouTube. So I sincerely appreciate you for being with me, whether it's in the morning or the nighttime. So thank you very much for kicking it with me inside the comment box. All right. So here's the playoff bracket, and I'm not mad at where the bracket is right now. I think that considering that Alabama did lose to Oklahoma, it does make sense that they would be behind Oklahoma. The team that everybody is asking about is really Notre Dame, right? And why is Notre Dame where they are, even in the playoff bracket, considering that this is a team that lost to Miami? And I'm curious to see what Hunter Yurachek has to say tonight about Miami, about Alabama, considering that Alabama did run for 8 total touchdowns against Eastern Illinois. And I guess that's part of the seeding criteria, right, is how effectively you run the football. So here's kind of a glance at the bracket. But let's kind of step back and look at the percentages to make the actual college football playoff bracket. And we all know the top, right? You have Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Georgia, Oregon, Texas Tech. And I understand inside the comment box that the names, I think this is the only channel. I don't watch other shows, but I know the usernames are different. This probably happens to us about 3 or 4 times out of a month. So if you're freaking out about your username, just it passes, but it does come back and happen. So just get past it, fight through it. I know who most of you are and where you guys are coming from, so don't sweat it too much, okay? Just take a deep breath. I'm telling you, when you're online, when you're live, everything that could happen that will go wrong will happen. I promise you. So you have to just roll past it. So don't let it bother you. Ole Miss, Oklahoma, Notre Dame, Alabama, and then the 2 teams from the group of 5, right? James Madison, North Texas, those teams, one of the 2 or another team is going to be up in that spot, taking away a playoff spot, which is absolutely ridiculous. But just wait until we get to a 16-team playoff and then a 24-team playoff. I mean, that's coming. I don't necessarily like that, but that's where they want to go. And I could go on about that, but that's not the current place and time. We have a gigantic weekend of college football. I mean, this slate, even Friday night, the games are going to be absolutely fun to watch. And overall, I separated this by conference. I'm sure you might have seen this before, but here's the college football slate in its entirety, broken down by conference. I can't wait, right? I mean, there are some absolutely massive games taken on across the country that have a lot of playoff implications. Now, here's kind of the big 3 that we have that we're watching, right? And, of course, Friday night at 6:30, Friday night football, right? You have Texas A&M traveling to take on the Texas Longhorns. So what I want to ask you all inside the comment box is who wins this game between Texas A&M and Texas? As you can see, the Aggies are favored by just 2.5. And I've played fraud alert a lot of the times with Texas A&M bringing up their schedule, pointing to the fact that they kind of played the lower half of the SEC. I have also complimented them on a second-year coach doing a great job getting the Aggies to where they feel they should be. I've commented and complimented their quarterback, Marcel Reed, for the job that he's done. I've questioned about their play against South Carolina, them being down 30-3. And Hunter Yurachek said that didn't matter because the way that they played in the second half nullified how they played in the first half. I'm interested to see what Hunter Yurachek says in his second performance as the college football committee chair. Maybe someone will ask the Arkansas athletic director about Kane Womack. Maybe not, right? All right, so who are you guys feeling? You guys, most everybody's asking A&M. Okay, so A&M. You know, call me crazy, but I kind of feel that Texas, and I felt this way before too. Remember, I thought that Texas was going to beat Georgia. That's probably one of my worst takes so far of the college football season, was thinking that Texas was going to go into Athens and beat the Bulldogs. I kind of going back in hindsight, I mean, that sounds absolutely ridiculous. But I guess in this particular matchup, Texas seems to be playing better, and the game is in Austin. And the fact that this is like Texas A&M's toughest game that they've played in quite some time. So maybe somehow Texas beats A&M. And let me ask you, inside the comment box, what happens if Alabama beats Auburn and Texas beats Texas A&M? Who plays in the SEC title game? So if Alabama beats Auburn and Texas beats Texas A&M, who plays in the SEC title game? All right. And Cody looks like he's having a good time. Yo, Cody, it's his 27th birthday, okay? So happy birthday to you, Cody, inside the comment box. See, your usernames might be messed up, but I know who you guys are, okay? So it doesn't matter if your username is messed up. Cody from Crestview, Florida, I appreciate you, bro, and we hope that you're having a good birthday, okay? You also have this Big Ten game taking place between Ohio State and Michigan. And like I said, when the playoff ranking show comes on, I promise you I'll put it on. But we have 12 minutes of basketball before USC and Seton Hall play at the Maui Invitational. So this is going to be a long time. I'm going to open up the phone lines in just a minute. Ohio State and Michigan. This is an interesting game. While Ohio State is favored by 10.5, for 4 consecutive years, Michigan has beat the Buckeyes. And you know what will be crazy in this game? Is if Michigan is able to beat Ohio State, which I don't think will happen. But if it does, that would mean that if Oregon's able to beat Washington, which is kind of, who knows, that would mean that Oregon and Indiana play in the Big Ten championship game. Ohio State would clearly make the playoffs. But guess what would happen? Michigan would finish the season 10-2. So Michigan, they're kind of playing in a playoff play-in game right now if they're able to beat Ohio State. And who would a 10-2 Michigan knock out when all the dust settles? I don't know. Something to think about. Because that would be one hell of a win. The playoff committee would go crazy for that win. At the bottom, you have Alabama traveling to take on Auburn. I saw the line go to as low as 3.5. Right now, it's at 5.5. The total for this game is 46. Let me ask you. Now, I'm not going to ask you who wins, but I'm going to ask you, do you think there'll be more than 45 points in this game between Alabama and Auburn? More or less, 45 points between Alabama and Auburn. Ace just says F Auburn straight up inside the comment box. Let me think about this. All right, more than 45 points. That would mean that Alabama will score at least, they're averaging 33. Auburn's defense is good. Ashton Daniels is good. This game is weird. Oh, I'm going to say I kind of want to say less, right? Camden inside the comment box has more. Auburn has low-key been cooking lately. Dude, you're not lying. I'm telling you. I watched that Vanderbilt game, and Cam Coleman had 10 receptions for 100 and something, and Eric Singleton had 11 catches. Those guys are dangerous. Ashton Daniels, why the hell wasn't he starting for the whole season? I fully think that he's going to be the guy that starts. It won't be Deuce Knight. I think it's Ashton Daniels 100%. Hey, just watch. CJ, what's up, dog? Good to see you, man. See, just how I know. The usernames are messed up, but CJ, I never even see his username look like that. It says just watch CJ play. I know that's my boy CJ from Wiptunka. And I even know what his avatar is. It's him holding up the biggest bass that you've ever seen. It's crazy. Miss Kimberly, what's up? Good to see you. Skylar Cook, what's up? Arvin Poole, good to see you, man. Aaron Bell, what's up, bro? Herman, good to see you. Thanks for kicking it. I don't know. I want to say less because Alabama's defense is ferocious. They're so good. Number 9 in the country. More on that in just a second. But those are kind of like the big 3 games. Okay, I'm going to take your calls in just a minute. We still have 12 minutes of this game. This is a chart that shows you Alabama's chances to make the college football playoffs if they lose in the SEC title. Okay, so they obviously have to win on Saturday to get into the SEC title. And if they lose, these are their percentage chances based on the ESPN All-State Predictor app. So 10-3, and they have a 59% chance to make the playoffs. And to be a first-round visitor, right, seeds 9, 10, 11, or 12, 41%. So, still a 60% chance. I would argue if I was Alabama, and of course they'll use it as data points, but you can't get blown out in that game. Even if Alabama was to lose the SEC title game, which I don't think they will, they're not going to get blown out, right? So I would rest on the fact about the fact that they made the SEC championship game, which is the hardest conference in all of college football, right? Here's a look at Alabama's resume. We have the fact that Alabama beat number 4 Georgia. I still feel that this is the best win in all of college football, right? The only team that would have a better win would be Michigan beating Ohio State. And I don't, who knows if that's going to happen this Saturday. But right now, I think in the world of college football, I think that Alabama's win over number 4 Georgia, specifically how Georgia is playing, that's the best win in college football. Am I right? IKR? Do you know what this means? IKR? I know, right? And my daughter taught me that. All right, so they beat number 4 Georgia. They have 4 wins over top 25 teams, okay? No other team in college football can say that. Why does that stat seem to fall on deaf ears? Why? Ryan, what's up? Help me out, bro. Ryan Harris, why does it fall on deaf ears that they beat 4 top 25 teams? Like, why does that not matter to people? I don't get that. It's like they're like, yeah, well, that's good, but it's not great. It's hard as hell. And plus, that's a statistic that no other team in college football could say. And Ace is asking me inside the comment box, what's up, Ace? He's like, Kyle, would you rather play UGA or Texas A&M in the championship game? It doesn't matter. I think they beat either team. And that's not being like a crazy fan fanatic. I would rather Alabama play A&M, but it won't matter. It's the same thing if Alabama plays Georgia. The craziest stat to me in the entire universe is the fact that Alabama has beaten Georgia the last 10 out of 11 times. That is a crazy number. Georgia, the way that they are playing, even right now, look like probably after Ohio State, I know Ohio State hasn't played the best teams, but let's face it, they got it going on. Georgia, I'd probably put them as number 2. But for whatever reason, Alabama has your number. And like in life, when somebody has your number, that's just it. It's the weirdest thing, bro. Back to Alabama's resume, and I appreciate the question, bro. Thank you. I really hope that they bring this up, Hunter Yurachek, tonight. The number 9 defense in the country. Number 9. Is that impressive? You know what's crazy is the fact that Alabama has the number 9 defense to begin with in this world of college football. And I would have bet my house that Kane Womack, wouldn't have improved as much as the defense has. Like, he's done a stellar job. Stellar. For comparison's sake, Ohio State has the number 1 defense in the country. Oregon has number 3. Indiana has number 4. James Madison, group of 5, has the 5th best defense. Texas Tech 7, and then Alabama's 9. That's crazy, right? That is an unbelievable metric. And considering the competition that they played, I get it. They just played Eastern Illinois, where they allowed 34 yards total in that game. But still, everybody has to play a couple cupcakes. If you're in the Big Ten, your schedule is really light, comparatively speaking. They have the number 9 passing offense. And you know what? I've been saying this a lot on the broadcast on my shows. I think that we kind of see Alabama's offense right now as being kind of mid, right? Would you guys say that? Right? You're like, I'm not really impressed with Alabama's offense. Ryan Grubb isn't it. Like, because I feel like that too. I'm like, that's where I'm at. I'm like, Alabama's offense is definitely going the opposite way. But statistically speaking, their offense is in, pretty good position. Top 20 in third down offense, 49%. Now, Ohio State and Indiana are number 1 and number 2 in that category. That's third down offense. Ohio State and Indiana have 58% on third downs. That's crazy. Almost 60%. Alabama is 9th in the country in passing offense. 9th. That's a good metric. They're 25th in scoring offense. I know Jarvis says this a lot. He feels that they should be scoring more points. I do too. But this team does not have explosive plays. And actually, this team is better when they play time of possession football. Which, by the way, they're number 12 overall in the country in time of possession. The teams that have the ball more are Indiana, Georgia, Ohio State that are like in playoff contention. Okay? So the offense is pretty good. Now, where it gets bad is this stupid loss to unranked Florida State where they got their teeth kicked in and they lost to Oklahoma at home. And then the other one that is now a new metric in college football, specifically for Alabama, is running the ball. Which is crazy because I didn't know that was a metric, but clearly it is. The good news is for Alabama that they went from 123rd to 103 week over week. But come on, I mean, look who they played, right? So that's their resume, right? 9 minutes to go in USC in Seton Hall. It's actually not a bad game. All right, so here are my questions, some big questions. And if you have a question inside the comment box, please let me know, okay, about the college football playoff bracket. I should have more questions. But right now, like, why is Notre Dame? Why is Notre Dame ranked? I was being cold. Why is there's like a love fest with Notre Dame. Can you help me process this? I think Notre Dame is playing really good football right now. They are. I think their running back is fantastic. Hopefully I can draft him in my fantasy draft next year because he's absolutely elite. And by the way, this is the call-in line number. Okay, I'll take your calls in like 5 minutes. I just have a couple more things to get through. I have to pay for the call-in line, so it's like the more you wait, if you wait on the call-in line, I'm paying for you to do that. And then this whole thing with Ole Miss is really freaking me out. and if you're like a constant viewer of my show, I'm simply asking if Lane Kiffin, when he does leave to LSU, I guess, on Saturday night, is that team going to be penalized in the playoffs? Does that open up a playoff spot? That would be so unfair to the team, but is it the same type of team if Lane Kiffin isn't there? If his running back transfers, if his quarterback transfers, if his OC and DC pack up their bags, is it the same Ole Miss team? I would argue no, right? And then that whole thing I just talked about a little bit ago was like, what if Michigan beats Ohio State? They'll be 10-2. What do you do? Just leave them out because they beat Ohio State? They're 10-2. There's a lot of teams that are 10-2. Alabama on the verge of being 10-2. So before I take your calls, here's a look at Notre Dame and their resume, right? They're 9-2 right now. Best win, Utah, and beating USC, right? And or best win, USC, and then their key losses, Miami and Texas A&M. Matter of fact, let's just look at their overall schedule. And I'll go full screen on this real fast, okay? So you tell me, looking at their schedule, what really jumps out to you? And I did the legwork just before the show, and I put the overall record of the teams that they played next to them. And the green indicates teams that they beat that had a winning record, all right? And I appreciate Kozlo with the super chat, dog. Thank you so much. I'll get to it in just a second. So on the board, they lost to number 10, Miami. They lost to Texas A&M, who was 16 at the time, who turned out to be 11-0. And as you know, they're number 3 right now. So they were 0-2 to start the year. And so Hunter Yurachek has argued that their losses are against 2 teams that are in the top 12. Okay, yeah, you lost to those teams. But let's see who else you beat. Okay, they beat 2-9 Purdue. They beat 2-9 Arkansas. They beat 7-4 Boise. They beat 6-5 NC State. They beat 8-3 USC. I guess that's their best win, right? They beat 1-10 Boston College. They beat 8-2 Navy. I mean, is that a really good win? They beat 8-3 Pittsburgh. Is that an impressive win, to be honest? They beat Syracuse, who's 3-8, and they're getting ready to play 4-7 Stanford. So, to me, I don't know how impressed I am, with that resume. It doesn't do it for me. Okay. The call line is open. I'm going to take some calls, and then when the college football playoff bracket is released, I'll put it on the screen. So right now, we're just kind of waiting for this basketball game to end in Hawaii. But we have a 614. We'll take it right now. Hey, thanks for calling. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Come with it. Welcome to the show.
How you doing, sir? This is your boy, Derek Baker, calling from Columbus, Ohio.
Derek, what's up, man? I appreciate you calling from Ohio, man. Welcome to the show.
Yes, sir, man. I was on it a couple weeks ago, man, and we talked about, I know you had joked around about me being like seeing Ohio's play calls and stuff, man. So I'm back on the show, man. Thank you for taking my call.
Thanks, dog. Yeah, welcome on in, man. Feel comfortable, bro. Come with it.
Yeah. So my thing is, man, with Bama, man, roll tide for life. I think if they would have beat Oklahoma, I think I'd have been all right. But now it's like we going to Jordan Hare, got to play the game of the century just to try to make the playoffs again, man. And that what irritates me about Bama. Like we keep having these like hard time positions to get in. We had an opportunity against Oklahoma. Now we got to go to Jordan Hare, which we know is voodoo, and they can do it. But I just hope our offenses come with it, man. That's my thing.
Yeah, on the line with Derek calling from Ohio. This game clearly gives everybody anxiety. I mean, you know me. I don't really worry about a lot of these games because I'm confident in the ability, but this one scares me just because going over there it's weird. It doesn't matter. And plus, I was watching some Auburn film. I got to say, look, the quarterback looks capable. But I continue to rest on the fact of this Alabama defense, and I'm curious to see if Hunter Yurachek, the committee chair, talks about the Alabama defense. I really hope they do. It would be a disservice to Alabama if they don't, considering that the improvements that they've made since week one. And I get it. They played Eastern Illinois. They did whatever they wanted, but that doesn't matter because the defensive improvements and the defensive play has been a constant. So much so that right now that this team's identity is a very stingy defense and a mid offense that is trending the opposite way, and a special teams that just really isn't it. That's kind of like the big three if you were to break Alabama down. What else you got, Derek?
Yeah, and you saying that, I agree with that, brother, for real. I do hope that Ryan Williams, comes with it. He had a couple of drop passes, but I do hope he comes with it. I think Jeremy Bernard will have a good game. Like you said, our defense is really stepping up, man. Really reminds me of the 2016-17 defense that we had back in the day, man. So, but my score prediction, man, for real, I give it like a 31-21 type game. I think Bama wins by 10. And I think Talty, I think he'll do a little bit better in this game as well.
Yeah. All right, man. I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling in, Derek.
Yes, have a good night. Roll Tide.
Yeah, Roll Tide to you, man. All right, 850 up next. Hey, welcome to the show. I appreciate you calling. Who am I on the line with? Where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. It's Cody from Crestview, Florida.
What's up, Cody? Happy birthday, bro. Welcome to the show. Come with it.
Hey, man. Hey, listen, I got one breaking news for me, but I just had a cousin from my mom's side of the family that passed away at 31 on Monday morning, so that's kind of a bummer for me. Two things, Alabama, I expect Alabama's defense to show up, and we need to win the SEC championship in order to get a bye week to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Second, did you have what's your take on that? Xavier Brown and Jeremy Bernard calling Alabama fans classless for literally booing Connor Talty on kicking field goals.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I'm sorry to hear about your relative, man. Thoughts and prayers go out to your family, man, and happy birthday, by the way.
Yeah.
In regards to Bernard and Xavier, look, they're going to protect their fans, or they're going to protect their teammates, rather, and fans are unhappy. And I think this is the first time that I think we've ever seen, a player booed, but I think we're getting to this point now where it's like fans are fed up with an 11 of 18 performance. And I think fans realize, like, look, if we're paying these players, these aren't like little like student athletes that are just going to school for a degree. No, like these guys are getting paid.
No.
We're in a different world. You got to protect your own. But at the same point, I think fans were also mad that Connor Talty was going after the long snapper. So, look, it's a weird situation. I hope that kind of like, fizzles through. But I was surprised too, and not surprised, but Coach Kalen DeBoer continues to defend Connor Talty. Even on Monday's press conference, he was like, look, this is the guy that we're going to have, and we're going to need him for the rest of the season. The one thing that we've learned about Coach Kalen DeBoer, he will ride that guy until the wheels fall off. So don't think you're going to get another kicker. Connor Talty is that guy. What else you got, Cody?
Oh, that's it. I do know that we're still going to beat Auburn. I do expect us to win by 14, maybe 16 points, just because our defense is going to give us a bigger boost in that game. All we have to do is just shut down the wide receivers and the quarterback. I do expect that Auburn may switch to Deuce Knight at the end, like probably at the third or fourth quarter and the second half.
Yeah.
That's when they're going to probably give Deuce Knight a chance. But I think Deuce Knight, as good, he's an exceptional quarterback for Auburn. And I think him and Daniels, I think that's pretty much the two best quarterbacks right now. They wasted a lot of money on Jackson Arnold, to be honest.
Yeah, probably so.
We just need to beat these two and then see who gets the SEC championship. Beat them, and then after this, we need to tune into. I can see clearly now the rain is gone moment.
All right, man.
In the playoffs, because we need to beat them.
Thanks for calling in, Cody. I appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Al.
Yep, Roll Tide, bro, and happy birthday. All right, 737. I think we got Mike. Let's see where Mike's at today. Mike, you back in Austin? You in Meridian, or you in LA with your turnips? Where you at, bro?
I'm in Austin today, man. I'm in Austin, but tomorrow I'll be driving back to L.A., South Alabama, for Thanksgiving.
Oh, okay.
But lately I've been cruising all over town, but all over the South. But yeah, man, I'll be back in Alabama for Thanksgiving and hopefully through the holidays, unless I have to come back here for some reason. So
yeah, good. All right. Well, glad to have you on the show. Yeah, welcome on in, man. Come with it.
Thank you, dude. Hey, man, I love rivalry weekend. I mean, it's so awesome between the Iron Bowl, the bowls up north, the Egg Bowl, the greatest of them all, in my opinion. And then, the Texas A&M and Texas games back on, and there's been some serious trash talk out here. I mean, they're calling each other cowards and stuff like that. So it's probably going to turn into one big rumble or something, man. So it's just going to be another epic weekend, especially like some of the games are being played on Friday. It's just very happy about the weekend. But I think we're going to beat Auburn. I think so. I'm fairly confident, but who knows what could happen as far in the game goes. But we lost to Oklahoma. Although we almost doubled Oklahoma in yards, we blew it because of 2 plays. So be it, but we probably should have won the game minus them 2 plays that we should have had back, but we almost doubled them in yards. But that puts us in a very tough situation. Like, this is a must-win game for us. And the reason why, Kyle, like you mentioned, man, that question you asked, there's 2 teams in this country that people love. They just, for some reason, they love these 2 teams. One of them's Notre Dame. Okay, so be it. The other is Oregon. I have no idea why people love Oregon Ducks. And real quick, Kyle, y'all can fact check me on this if you like, right? But the Oregon Ducks, excuse my language, they're horrible, man. They're horrible. The reason why is, they've never won a national championship. They have losing records against the SEC. They have a losing record against the ACC. They have a losing record against the Big Ten. They've never played the Pac-12. The only thing they're known for is winning some Pac-12 titles, a few years ago. But they love them teams. And like where Alabama is right now, have been on top for 15 years now. They love to hate us. They just love for us to fall down, and some other big programs like Georgia as well. But that's the bottom line. Now, for some reason, there's just a lot of national love for Notre Dame. I don't hate Notre Dame. I mean, I don't root for Notre Dame, but I get it. But I do not get Oregon, to be honest with you. That's a whole different story. But I like her. But statistically, we're doing good, Kyle. Statistically, we're doing good. I mean, I'm going to stick with Ty Simpson for now. We'll stick with him throughout the season. But we do have an awesome quarterback room, and. Yeah, it's going to be a great game. I think we're going to beat Auburn. I think it's going to be less than 50 points. And kind of like you said, the reason why, because we have a great defense, man. And on that note, real quick, we have a good defense coordinator, Kane Womack. I expect him to be gone after this season. There's just too many open jobs out there, too many good mid-level jobs out there. He's already has head coaching experience. He's proven with Bama that he can do it. We got an awesome defense, man. He's proven he can do it. So I expect to lose just a natural order of college football, is losing good coaches like that. Grubb, like you said, man, he had the same issues here that he had in Oregon with the running game. But I don't know if it's X's and O's or what, man. I don't know, but you're right about that, though. But anyway, Kyle, I want to wish you a happy you and yours and everybody out there in Bama Nation. I want to wish you a happy Thanksgiving. Don't forget what it's all about, man. Don't forget what Thanksgiving's all about. Just happy Thanksgiving, everybody. Roll Tide, and you take care, Kyle.
All right, take it easy, Mike. Thanks for calling in, brother. All right, that was Mike. I like that, Turn Up Mike. He used to be Free Mike. Now we can call him Turn Up Mike. I like that. That's a good new name. Sometimes you wonder how these nicknames come up. It's like they happen, right? Sometimes it's just a cosmic thing. So he went from Free Mike to now Turn Up Mike. And if you were wondering how he got the name, well, he's got turnips growing out in L.A., not in L.A., like the 310. I'm talking about L.A., like Lower Alabama. So Free Mike calling in. I think he hit on a good point about Kane Womack. This guy is going to be a head football coach again. There are some mid-range jobs that would be suitable. I don't think he goes to Arkansas. I don't. I know he's a candidate for that job. I just don't think so. And then regarding Oregon, he's right. The committee loves Oregon. And I guess, them beating Iowa and them beating USC, and those are the wins that stand out to the committee. I do like their quarterback. I think we all, we like Dan Lanning. We like that competitive spirit. But, they're definitely going to be a team that's on the verge of 11-1 if they beat Washington. 865, let's take it. Hey, 865. Yeah, what's up, man? Welcome to the show. Who am I online with? Where are you calling in from?
This is Angel.
Oh, my bad, Angel. All right, what's up? Angel's calling to us from Pigeon Forge. Good evening, Angel. Thanks for calling in.
Yeah, look, this game against Auburn is going to be a tough one because we always know what happens in Jordan-Hare. It's always some type of evil magic going on, and I think this game will be close for like all 4 quarters of this game because Auburn they want to play spoiler, against Alabama, and you know how they hate each other. So I can really see this being like a low-scoring game and comes down to a field goal, honestly. And I don't want Connor Call to kicking a field goal because dude shouldn't have exploded like that on the long snap or whatever. And it looks pretty bad for him right now. But I think Bama does have the edge though, in quarterback, running backs, and the defense especially because they got to come out and play with intensity against Auburn because I hate Auburn. I don't like them. And I know the committee will think if Bama loses this game, we're going to kick out of the playoffs. And that Arkansas AD on the committee does hate Alabama for some reason. And the committee is a joke, honestly. Then they go back to the BCS era with computers. I trust computers more than I do the people's logic in that committee room. Because that logic they made up about running the football, where was that in the criteria book? Like they don't in their criteria, their handbook, they said that the quality wins matters, and apparently they don't matter. Top 25 wins. Bama's got 4, and only 1 ranked loss. Make that make sense, Kyle. I mean, it doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
And they hate Bama, and these people want to see Bama crumble, and it ain't going to happen. And I really do. Bama will make it to the playoffs, win or lose in the ACC championship game,
Mm-hmm.
because we saw it last year with SMU. They didn't get penalized, and Bama shouldn't either by playing a tough schedule. And it makes that, and also their criteria makes it meaningless now to play these tough games. It's just, it just makes me mad and goes up to a wall because, and I really do think it's benefit. I'm telling you, I don't like this committee. I want to go back to the 14 playoff or the BCS, the computers. I don't trust these people. Like half these people are not even. I mean, there are some coaches in there, but half these people don't know what they're talking about. And it's just frustrating because Notre Dame hasn't played anybody except for like USC. That was it. And same thing with Oregon. They got no business being ranked above Alabama for some reason. I can understand Oklahoma being above Alabama because we lost that game. But there's no reason that they should be ranked behind those two teams. And the head has to matter. And I can all say this committee is a joke. But you know, like roll time. I just want to get my feelings out there about this committee, and we need to go back to the BCS system. I don't like this format. It's garbage.
All right, appreciate the call, Angel.
Trash.
Thanks, bro.
Garbage.
All right,
Roll Tide, man.
Yep, take it easy. All right, that's Angel out in Pigeon Forge. We got a 336 in Chris from New Jersey calling on in. We got a super chat that just came in from our boy Gelato. What's up, Gelato? I appreciate you, man. If Arkansas was playing Auburn this week, it would be 8 in the morning. Now Bama playing them, it's 8 at night. They do everything possible for Bama to lose, but it won't work. Roll Tide. Appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. KP, his comment made me laugh up top. He's like, the committee makes up rules as they go. And I was thinking, you ever played like a board game with somebody? And they're like, they do this, right? They're like, no, you can't do you pass go, you can't get $200 anymore. Not on like the third try. You're like, what? It's like that's exactly what I was thinking about. All right, let's do another call. We got another call coming in. Let's see where the call in line went. All right, 336.
Hey, Kyle.
Yeah, good evening. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who on the line with, where you calling in from?
My name is Justin. I'm originally from Alabama, but I live in North Carolina.
All right, Justin.
I just have a question.
For sure, bro.
When we beat Auburn, because I have a strong feeling it's going to happen, it might not be a high-scoring game, but I feel it's going to happen, and we make it to the SEC championship game. If we lose that game, do you feel that we'll get penalized by the committee and miss out of the playoffs, or will we still go into the playoffs?
Yeah, I think that's what's on everybody's mind, and we got Justin calling in from North Carolina. I have a graphic on the screen that shows that exact scenario, at least from the computer standpoint, and I think there's a lot of people that might rather have a computer like Angel, who just called in, but the computer spits out that they have a 59% chance to make the playoffs if they finish 10-3, losing in that SEC title game. Now, I have to wonder, and I think it was Heather Denich who pointed out something like this, like a team like BYU, right? Theoretically, they finish with 2 losses, and each of those losses will be to a top 5 team, which is Texas Tech. Clearly, the committee has shown us that they value those type of losses. Those are like almost good losses, right? So a team like BYU is someone I'm watching. A team like Miami is someone I'm watching. I'm talking like bubble teams, because Miami, if I'm a Miami fan, I am absolutely livid right now every single time that Notre Dame is ranked higher than Miami, right? Look, Miami lost to, who they lost to, but straight up, like Hunter Yurachek was like, well, we don't really have metrics with them on the same field. And I was like, yo, bro, they played each other. Look, whether you like Miami or you don't, the truth of the matter is they beat Notre Dame head to head. Like, how can we overlook something like that? So, man, they do make up, rules as they go. And now, like they were saying, running is clearly part of the criteria, which Notre Dame, by the way, does really well. What else you got, Justin?
When I was looking at the rankings from last Tuesday night, I just couldn't believe that Notre Dame got higher ranked than Alabama did. It's just, I don't understand that one bit. And along with a lot of other people, but I mean, it don't make no sense.
All right, man. Thanks for calling in, Justin. Take it easy, bro.
Appreciate it, bro.
Yep. All right, so to update you, this is last week's bracket. We are still waiting for this game on ESPN to end. It's pretty close between USC and Seton Hall. Hopefully it doesn't go into overtime. After the completion of this game, the playoff committee will release the rankings, and we will show you an updated bracket as that comes out. So this is last week's bracket. We're taking some calls just to kind of fill some time when we're talking college football or anything under the sun. We got Chris from New Jersey calling in. Chris, what's up, bro?
Kyle, my friend, I'm calling up to be Chris Positive from New Jersey. So
yeah.
Bottom line is, we win, we're in.
How about Chris
and
plus?
We're going to win.
How about plus Chris or Chris plus? Something like that, right?
So I got us win, and listen, spread started at 7.5. I know like Jarvis follows it, went all the way down to 5. Now it's back to 6. I saw 6.5 on one thing, so that's good for us. I'm telling you right now, I think I will be close in the first half, but we'll have a halftime lead, and then I think we pull away, and they kind of foible in the second half, and then we win, we're in. This game, if we win, we're in. It doesn't matter what happens in the SEC championship game, win or lose. We win against Auburn, we're in.
Yeah,
that's it. So everybody, and we're gonna win. And we're gonna talk on after the game. I'm gonna call up. We're in. I'm gonna be real happy, Kyle. So let's there's the real reason I'm calling. Most two important things. So one is, I'm gonna make my mashed potatoes on Thursday. So where do I send the pic, Kyle? I'm gonna send you that picture.
Yeah.
I text that to you.
Can we put the email inside the comment box for the golden potato picture? Yeah, we'll.
Yeah, where's that?
You know
what
what?
email? Oh,
It says
that
it says the email. Yeah, yeah.
NMP Prep. Send it there.
Yeah. Nancy Michael.
Done. Okay.
Paul Ringo, expert. Paul Sam. Yeah. So yeah, there it is
All right,
there.
you got it. I'm gonna send it. I'm gonna send the pick there. Maybe even more than one pick.
I thought you're gonna ask. I thought you're gonna ask for
one in the serving dish.
Yeah, I thought you're gonna ask for like a PO box so you could send it a little taste. But we don't have that technology. We don't. We don't have that technology
I don't know if they're good
yet.
at traveling though. They might come in a brick. And Kyle, I got to tell you something. So this is the real reason I'm calling. So who was it on the call? Was it Jarvis or it was saying that I sounded like a mob boss? I played that for my entire family. Everybody was dying, Kyle. They were like, he goes, I don't like New Jersey, but I like Chris from New Jersey.
Yeah,
we were dying.
Yeah, I know.
Kyle,
I know. I haven't told them your last name, but everybody, assumes that it's Montesanti. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
well, it's our names are messed up again. So everybody in the chat, Steve Modica, that's me. That's Chris from New Jersey.
Yeah. All right, man.
But when I heard that, Kyle, I knew, by the way, I thought I saw you laughing too, buddy.
Yeah, I think that's hilarious.
I will say that. So now I know where to send the picks. I will do that, but I'm sure we'll, I don't know, you're gonna do something quick on Thanksgiving morning, or are you cooking, Kyle? You cooking a bird?
No. I'm not on the cooking team this year, but we'll keep you posted. By the way, this game might go into overtime. Kyle. So, all right, thanks, Chris. I appreciate the call, man.
All right, happy pre-Thanksgiving, brother. We'll talk later.
All right, take it easy. All right, 256 and a 512 coming up next. Yo, this game, if you're watching Seton Hall and USC, it is 78-78, and there's 29 seconds left. Okay, so I mean, we're just gonna keep rolling with it. All right, and then after the conclusion of this game, the playoff show will start, and we'll show you the rankings. This is last week's playoff bracket. 256, you're up. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Come with it, man.
Hey, I'm just calling because I want to make really a brief point, right? Yep. About if they had to acknowledge Alabama's strength of schedule and the fact that it was 4 ranked opponents back-to-back without a bye week, which has not happened since 2001 Saban, right? It's not happened. If they acknowledge that, then they'd have to acknowledge Notre Dame's goofy-looking schedule. I mean, I like Texas A&M, I really do, but their schedule, come on, Ohio State's schedule. I mean, they look like a dominant team. Yes, we all agree on that, but let's be real. If we had to acknowledge strength of schedule, then the entire bracket would be flipped around. So, honestly, I think they're going to keep trying to move the goalposts on that. They're going to bring up, the run game, That didn't matter. What was it, Boise State last year? They ran the ball everywhere, but were they really passing like that? No. Did they bring up, Boise State wasn't passing the ball? No, they weren't.
You're right.
I don't know, man. It gets me riled up, but Notre Dame being above us is really what bothers me because they don't play in a conference. They don't play in a championship. It's just a free ride to the playoffs every year, but that's it. I don't know. They're still going to do it. They're going to keep moving the goalposts. They want Bama out. So all we need to do, get down there, join here, take care of business, get to the championship, and take care of business there. Because I do personally believe if we lost in the SEC championship, they're gonna use that. They're not gonna let the 3-loss team in.
Yeah.
Anyway, that was my take.
I think you're right, bro.
Thank you, Kyle.
Yeah, take it easy, man. Thanks for calling in. All right. You know what? Okay, this is we got a 512 and a 574 calling in. You know what I was thinking? And the game is still tied, and there's 29 seconds left. Okay, this is a tinfoil hat theory. Okay, these are like this is like a conspiracy theory. Okay, so this isn't true. But Hunter Yurachek, he's the athletic director at Arkansas. Okay, he purposely keeps Alabama out of the playoffs so he can get Kane Womack on his staff if he hires him faster. I know that's conspiracy theory. Yurachek. All right, 512.
Hey, Kyle, what's going on, man? This is Arvin Poole in Austin, man. How are you doing?
What's up, Arvin? Thanks for calling in, bro. Just waiting for this playoff show to start, man. Yeah, welcome on in.
Yeah, Thank you, man. Thanks for having me again. Yeah, I was wanting to call in because I wanted to go back and talk about Auburn, Alabama's history for the last, I'm going to probably say 10 years. So there's a little bit of conspiracy theorists here. So I'm driving home this tomorrow morning. Actually, I'm heading back to Montgomery, which is my home city. Mm-hmm. And I take the drive every year whenever we play Auburn, in Auburn, because that's where all my family is, in Montgomery. And I'll just say this. Every game I've gone to for the last 6 years, we have won. Even that close one, I think there was a overtime. I actually left the game early, Kyle. Was trying to beat the traffic because I thought we had lost that game. And shame on me. I shouldn't have left. And I heard all the people roaring, and I was like, dang, we lost that game. And come to find out, we had won in overtime, the fourth overtime. So my point is, a little bit of conspiracy theories, but I'm going to get to some numbers here in 2 seconds. Because I'm driving home to Auburn, I think we're going to win by 10. That's it. But, Kyle, I got a question for you. All right. So looking at our schedule, looking at Auburn's schedule, I think Auburn has only won literally one SEC game. I don't even know who they beat. If it was probably was Arkansas, I'm not sure. Second thing is, if you look at the chips on the table and the fact that Hugh Freeze is now gone, they have this interim coach. I just don't think Auburn has the focus to even, other than keeping us out of the playoffs or keeping us out of from moving forward. I just don't think they have enough firepower after maybe 2 quarters. I think second half is going to be a totally different game. It's just my opinion. We may see a different score, but I'm looking at the score somewhere between 31 to 21. That is going to be my take on it. And I think 10 of those points may come on turnovers. So that's my prediction. There's a lot of other numbers in here that I'm looking at, but I just think we just got too much firepower on our defense. And I feel like Grubb is going to hopefully do something a little different with our backs. I think we're going to see a lot more of our running backs this game, definitely from AK. He played an exceptional game last week, although it was against Eastern Illinois. I think we're going to see a lot more of him as well as number 4. So roll Tide.
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling in. Yeah, hit on some good points, man. Be safe on the road, by the way, cruising in from Austin over to Montgomery. Yeah, sometimes, when you leave a game like that, sometimes, that's why the team won, right? Win by 10. That's the most that anybody's beaten Auburn this year is by 10. And you were right, Arvin. They did beat Arkansas. In terms of Auburn not having the firepower, maybe that's right. The thing about Alabama is, and let me ask you this inside the comm box, has Alabama really played a complete game this year? That's kind of the scary thing. I don't think they have. Maybe that game against Georgia, and that's what they're capable of, right? But in terms of like putting it together in like 3 phases, that might be the only game. But I mean, how good is this team capable of being if this offense awakens late in the season? By the way, someone said that the view baiting on this is going on, this basketball game. I promise you, this game has been stuck on the last 30 seconds for about 10 minutes. There's still 13 seconds on the clock, and USC is winning by 2 points. USC is now at the line. We're in Maui for the Southwest Invitational as Seton Hall takes on unranked USC, and the first free throw is missed. Let's see what the next one is. We'll take a call, 574. Hey, thanks for calling in. You're online with Kyle Henderson. Who are we online with, or where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. My name's Harrison. I'm from about an hour from Notre Dame campus.
Oh, nice. Thanks for calling in. You said Harrison?
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, bro.
I just wanted to call in because some people disagree with Notre Dame's ranking, which I disagree with it a little bit too. I don't think we should be above Alabama. Mm-hmm. The only reason why I think that could even be a possibility is if the committee is weighing the Florida State loss so much. But I think Notre Dame deserves to be the 10th seed over Miami because it was a good loss at the beginning of the year. Everybody said that. I mean, we lost to a great team. You know, a lot of people were saying that Miami had a chance of being number one, and then the wheels fell off the bus the last couple of weeks, and we've seen Carson Beck of old come back, and the team just hasn't looked as good. So, with that being said, I believe that Notre Dame is peaking right now, and Miami is they're kind of steady, but they've fallen off from where they were. And I think that's why Notre Dame deserves to be above Miami. So I just wanted to come on and talk about it a little bit and see what you thought about that.
Yeah, Harrison, I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much for calling in our South and Notre Dame. You know, Miami, you hit the nail on the head. Miami is who the hell knows? You know what I'm saying? They're like, we don't know. Exactly. They could just collapse at any point in time. Whereas I think Notre Dame, and I think from my perspective, I'm always questioning their overall schedule, right? And I do understand you beat USC, they beat Navy and Pittsburgh, and you can only play who you're playing. A couple things at Notre Dame, and sometimes why it frustrates me in ranking Notre Dame is just the whole conference thing, right? And I think Notre Dame, they're smart for not being in a conference. And they had those first two games, and they lost them. And the loss against Texas A&M doesn't look bad because Texas A&M is 11-0 on the season. And I think you're right. They are peaking. So, like, if I'm looking at it, like trying to look at Notre Dame compared to Alabama, and they finish out, with the same record, I'm putting Alabama above Notre Dame because of the schedule, right? They played a tougher schedule.
Exactly.
And that says a lot to me. Like, the schedule, to me, weighs more than the loss against Florida State, right? And the fact that they beat Georgia, like that, that win, Hunter, is huge. That's the best win in college football, right? So, like, because you could say, like, well, if I asked you, what's Notre Dame's best win of the year? It's USC, right?
I would say so, yeah.
Yeah, right. I mean, I think we'd all say USC. So that's a much larger win, in terms of the comparing kind of the resumes. But, who knows? And I think you could look at some other metrics too. Like Alabama's defense is really dominant right now, number 9 in the country. Notre Dame can run the football really well. But how are they passing? Alabama's number 9 in the country passing, or number 12, or whatever it is. So there's a lot of metrics, but I think at the end of the day, just comparing like schedules, and if they have the same record, we'll see how it turns out. The thing that might hurt Alabama, as you know, is if Alabama doesn't win this SEC championship game and then they finish with another loss. They lost their first game of the season, and they lost the back end. So who knows? But I appreciate it, Harrison.
Right.
Thanks for watching, bro, and calling again next time, man.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah, I appreciate it, bro. All right, we got a 352 and a 931. Hang on real quick, because this game is now, I swear, I promise you, it's still on. You watching this game? It's heart pounding. And I mean, none of these teams are even ranked. So USC's at the line. It's 81-80. The young man makes the free throw, and we go to 82-80. So USC, theoretically, they go up by 3 with 1.2. Seton Hall is going to have one more opportunity, I guess, to fly it across and shoot something. So this has been insane. The guy makes it. So it's 83-80. Seton Hall, this should be the last play, and then we should move into the college football playoffs. Let's see what happens. All right. Seton Hall is about to inbound. They have to go the length of the court to put something up. There is literally 1.8 seconds left. We're in Maui, right? There's Hulus everywhere. Here comes the inbound. He launches it across, and it goes nowhere, and there's a whistle. This game will not end. This is crazy. Yo, a kicking field goal is like shooting dice. Yo, From, what's up, dog? Ephraim, thanks, dog. It is, right? I love that super chat, man. What happened here? So I don't know what the foul was or why there was an official whistle. But, oh, my God, the guy is at the line. I kid you not. So Seton Hall is now shooting free throws. This is crazy. This is my second play-by-play basketball game that I've had. 352, we'll take it, and we'll do the end of the game together. He misses the first. Hey, 352, what's up? Who on the line with him? Where are you calling it from?
What's up, Kyle? This is Trent Ross. I'm calling in from on the road to Tuscaloosa.
All right, Trent, what's up, man?
Going to the Egg Bowl.
We're going to have to do
to watch the next.
That's what's up, man. We're going to do the ending of the game together real quick. So Seton Hall,
okay, let's go.
They made a basket. They missed it, and that's how it ends. USC 83, Seton Hall 81 is your final. Coming up next, the College Football Playoff Show right here on ESPN. Did you say Trenton?
Yeah, Trent Ross.
All right, Trent, what's up, dog? I appreciate you. You're going to the Egg Bowl. All right, that's exciting, man. On Friday, okay. And you're on the road.
Yeah.
But welcome to the show, bro. I appreciate you calling in. Trent, come with it.
What's up, Kyle? I ain't gonna play fast money with you today, man. I'm gonna be quick. But I'm just kind of looking forward, man. I just want to get your opinion. I see a lot of people being crystal ball in Alabama to have at least 8 players to hit the transfer portal. I just want to get your over or under on that.
8. I'll take over. I mean, it's a transfer portal. It's crazy.
You take over?
Yeah. I say 8.
Yeah.
Over. Yeah. Give me 9.
Okay. I'm thinking. So I don't want all the fans to get all hung up on last transfer portal opening. It wasn't no players to enter the portal, but I think it will be at least from 8 to 10 this time to hit the portal.
Yeah.
Definitely Cam Calhoun and Jada Roberts maybe, but yeah. I know it's about to start, Cal, so I'll be quick, man. I'll catch up with you next time. I'm ready to see what these rankings say.
All right, thanks, brother. Be safe on the road, man. Enjoy the Egg Bowl. Only in the Southeast could you say that to somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like like living here, living in the Southeast, like there's weird things that probably you could say, yo, what's up? You're from L.A., enjoy the Egg Bowl. You know what I'm saying? And people would be like, if you were anywhere else in the country, it'd be like, what are you talking about? But that's kind of the fabric. All right, the College Football Playoff Show is literally starting right now. How this works is they're going to rank the teams 25 all the way up to 1, right? As soon as the playoff graphic is updated, I'm going to switch out the old graphic with the new graphic. While they kind of build up all this stuff, I will still take some calls, and I'll even take some calls on the post while we wait for Hunter Yurachek to come in, okay? What we're going to do is we're going to type in the rankings as they are live inside the comment box, okay? So we will take the 931 right now. Hey, welcome to the show. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson.
Going,
what's up, bro? Who am I on the line with? Where are you calling in from?
Hey, this is Bama Dave from Baxter.
Hey, Bama Dave, what's up? I appreciate you calling back from, you said Baxter?
Baxter.
All right, where's Baxter at?
Tennessee, up near Kentucky.
Okay, all right. Yeah, I was like,
up near Kentucky,
okay.
Between Nashville and Knoxville.
Okay, yeah. I bet it's a beautiful country up there, to be honest.
It's absolutely gorgeous up here. I love it.
Yep.
I got back to the Alabama-Auburn thing. All I've heard is how they can ruin our season. Has anybody spun it and said we can ruin theirs by not making them bowl eligible?
Oh, I like that take. No one has said that.
I don't care if it's the pick your nose bowl. If we can keep them out of a bowl game, that's all I care about.
Oh, honestly, Bama Dave, no one has said that. It's all been kind of the opposite, that Auburn can derail Alabama. And I keep going back to something that A.J. McCarron said. I think he said it last week or whenever. But he was like, when is the Iron Bowl not – or I think it was Greg McElroy. My bad. He said this. He was like, when has the Iron Bowl not played a significant role determining Alabama's season? Every single year, right? Like, it's almost like that is kind of like Bowser's Castle that you have to beat to get to the next level. And this is exactly what it is. It's hard to not be a faceless opponent because you're playing over there. But I think roster-wise, Alabama has a better roster. And all we're waiting on is just kind of the obvious. Is like, can this offense get out of a slump and perform at a higher level against the Tigers, who have a good defense?
And I want to ask your honest opinion. Do you think if Bama beats Auburn and they go to the SEC championship and they get beat, close, whatever, and they leave them out of the playoffs, do you think that Sankey has the grapefruits to say, okay, fine, next year we'll just start sending 5 and 6 teams regardless.
Mm-hmm.
We won't play a championship game if y'all going to do us like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because last year the championship didn't matter for SMU. This year it stands a good chance of mattering for Alabama.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a really good point. I personally think right now, and they've even said this on the show, that the conference championship games, they're kind of just like extra data points, and that could be a negative for a team like Alabama that already has 2 losses, right? And I do feel, depending on what happens in the Big 12 and maybe, a couple other factors, being 10-3 for Alabama, it's dangerous. Think about this, Bama Dave, and everybody inside the comm box, okay? If Alabama, let me ask you, everybody, yes or no question, okay? And they're about to do the rankings right now here in a minute. Yes or no inside the comment box, and this is for you too, Bama Dave. If Alabama finishes its season against Auburn and they win that game, what would you say their playoff chances are? If they didn't play a playoff game, the SEC title game, and they just played Auburn, and that was it, and they finished 10-2, what would their playoff chances be?
I'd say at this point 50-50 because who knows what the committee is going to do. They need to set up a set of guidelines and follow it.
I would say,
they moved the goalposts constantly.
I would say this, Bama Dave. I think if Alabama beat Auburn and they didn't have to play in the SEC title game, I think it'd be 100%. I think that Alabama would be.
If they didn't have to.
Yes.
Yeah, if they didn't have to, it'd be 100%.
So yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
So I
thought you was asking with the championship game, what's their chances after beating Auburn? And I'd say right now it's 50-50.
Yeah,
with the championship game.
So that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, me too.
Sure.
Me 100%. I'm with you. So that's the life that Notre Dame is living. Except Notre Dame is playing Stanford and Alabama is playing Auburn, and then they have to play another basically play-in game. So Alabama, look,
a top 5 team,
100%.
A top 5 team.
Yeah.
And 2 things. Number one, if Alabama loses in the SEC championship, they don't want them in because Bama fatigue. And number 2, they don't want them in because that would give the SEC 5 to 6 teams getting into the playoffs, and they don't want that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree. Okay, Bama Dave, I appreciate it, man. Thanks for calling in from Baxter. I appreciate it, man.
You, brother.
Yep, see ya. All right, 501, we'll take it while we wrap down these final rankings. Hey, thanks for calling in, 501. You're on the line with Kyle Henderson. Who am I on the line with, and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle, this is Dennis.
Dennis, thanks for calling in. Where are you calling in from?
Oh, Arkansas. I'm in Arkansas.
All right. Are you with
I'm calling in
Are you with Hunter Yurachek by a chance?
Oh no. No. I don't like that guy, man. For some reason I just don't like him. I'm kinda an old school kind of guy, man, and I just don't understand where they're getting these rankings from. I mean, especially Notre Dame.
Mm.
I mean, I'm not a hater. I watch football every week, and don't get me wrong, they are playing a great brand of football right now. But I just don't see how they could be ranked. I got a problem with them being ranked above Vandy. You know, and that's the truth. I almost got a problem with them being ranked above Miami. They beat them.
Yeah.
I mean, they beat them fair and square.
Mm.
I don't understand what is going on with this Notre Dame bias. They are playing a great brand of football, but right now, I if they were in my ranking, they'd be sitting there at 13 or 14, man. Their schedule doesn't hold up. They are playing a good brand of football right now, and they look good. But who is it? Mm-hmm. You know, all these teams in the top are playing a great brand of football. Oregon probably just played their best game this past weekend.
I agree.
You know? So, I mean, I just don't understand what is going on with this Notre Dame mess. I don't get it. I don't get why they're ranked above Alabama. They shouldn't be ranked above no SEC team. Period. That's how I feel.
Hey Dennis, let me ask you let me ask you a question before I go, so I can read off these rankings. Dennis is calling in from Arkansas.
Okay.
Who wins this game, Notre Dame or Vanderbilt?
Man, that's a hard one for me. Neutral field, I might take Pavia.
I'll take
Pavia.
Yeah, that'd be a hell of a game. I take Vanderbilt. You know who else who else I think would be Notre Dame is Tennessee. But Dennis, let me read off these rankings, bro. But I appreciate you calling in.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Take it easy. Yeah, fam. Who wins inside the comment box? Tennessee or Notre Dame? Seriously, I'm telling you. Those are, I think, okay. So we got the rankings. So Bama's at 10, okay, and I don't think the rankings are really gonna the rankings will change that much. Notre Dame's at 9, Oklahoma's at 8, right? I mean, all the teams. That's what I was saying. Like, and I'll put the call line back on the screen here in a minute. Let me just read out these brackets, this bracket, and as soon as the bracket is updated, I'll update this graphic that you're looking at. Okay. It might take a few minutes, but we have Bama at 10. Okay. You have Notre Dame at 9. Dennis was just talking about Notre Dame. And just like when Harrison called, he was calling in from up in Notre Dame. He was like, look, he felt that they should be ranked over Miami because how they are playing right now, and they're playing consistent football. They are playing consistent football. I mean, they just scored 70 points against Syracuse. But, man, it's crazy for me to rank somebody higher when it's like head-to-head. That's the only thing that really messes with me, right, is if you have the same schedule or the same record, then me, like the next thing that I go down on is like, did you have common opponents or did you play head-to-head? And they played head-to-head. So they have Ole Miss at 7. And, man, I'm telling you, just like you called in, Mike from Austin said it tonight, that they love Oregon, who I would imagine is at 6. So Oregon is at 6. Ole Miss is at 7. And Oklahoma is at 8. And Notre Dame's at 9. And Bama's at 10. So pretty much what we thought, right? And they're getting ready to release 5 through 1. And I would imagine it's going to be Texas Tech, right? There you go. Texas Tech at number 5 spot. Number 4 will be Georgia, right? And A&M will be 3, and Indiana 2, and Ohio State number 1. So it's going to be literally, I think, the same bracket, right? Let me ask you this, and I'm going to post a format inside the comment box, okay? And I'm going to say this will be the title of it. Biggest question about the playoff bracket. Okay, I've just posted that inside the comment box. Go ahead and post your biggest question about this playoff bracket. And it's literally, I think it's the same. So could we just, the only thing that's different is 7 and 10. So you have to look at this graphic right here and just replace Ole Miss, and Bama would be going to Oxford to play. Who knows who the coach would be. And then Miami would be traveling to Oregon. So we'll get a fresh graphic updated here momentarily. But in the next updated graphic, you're going to see you know how crazy this would be for Bama to be going on the road to play Ole Miss. So a couple things to understand. The reason that this bracket isn't going to hold is because, the only way that let me rephrase it. The only way that it holds is if Bama still makes the playoffs if they lose in the SEC title game. That's the only way, right? Let's see what they say with the highest ranked 9-2 teams. And then we'll get some feedback going inside the comment box. They love Oregon. And they even ranked them higher, right? All right. I'm trying to where do my comments go? I think for me, the weird thing about this would be having Alabama. Okay, the bracket is updated. Okay, so we got an updated bracket on the screen. Do you imagine? This would be the weirdest thing for me, fam, is if Alabama had to go on the road to play Ole Miss with no coach. Like, what's going to happen there, right? Wouldn't that be the strangest thing? I would actually love it. Could you imagine how many Alabama fans would show up in Oxford for this game? Man, I'm telling you. And I do like this setup because it would pair Alabama up once again with Indiana. And for whatever reason, I think Alabama and Indiana, I think fans want to see those two teams play more than any other matchup on this board, right? Am I right? I really want to see Alabama play Indiana. And sometimes you got to be careful what you wish for, but I would love that matchup. Let me fly through 1 through 12 and just give you my observations on this bracket real quick, okay? Number 1, Ohio State. Clearly, they have to beat Michigan, a team that they haven't beaten in the last 4 tries. If they win that game, that they're in the Big Ten championship game, okay? This is a team that has complete offense, complete defense. Matt Patricia, as their defensive coordinator, is outstanding. Ohio State, complete package. Julian Sain at quarterback, balling out. Indiana, very good football team. Number 1 in the nation on third down offense, Fernando Mendoza. He's been doing his thing. They have elite wide receivers and a very good defense. The committee loves this team. They're really good. They're a balanced team. A lot of passing yards, a lot of rushing yards. Texas A&M, I do have them on fraud alert. I have to admit, this is the one team that I think could potentially lose even this Friday, and I think Alabama would beat Texas A&M if they were to play in the SEC title game. Number 4, Georgia. This is clearly a team that is playing its best football, right? Like Georgia, would you agree? They're playing fantastic at this point in the season. Gunnar Stockton, if you're a Georgia fan, I think we got Beer Cans and Baddies who always kicks it with us. He's a Georgia fan. He's got to be elated on how Georgia is playing right now. This is a very capable football team, big defense. Gunnar Stockton has weapons now at the wide receiver standpoint. They're good. Nobody wants to play them, okay? 5, Texas Tech. You guys have told me that this team is for real. Their defense is number 7 in the country. Them matching up with Tulane, and then Texas Tech and Georgia. I would love to see that. Okay, Notre Dame. A lot of people questioning about Notre Dame. They haven't really played a tough schedule. They have wins over USC, Navy, and Pittsburgh. Those are kind of their marquee wins. They lost to Miami. They lost to A&M. They're not in the conference. They beat Stanford, and their season's completed. And I was just saying about 10 minutes ago, what would happen if Alabama just had to beat Auburn? That's it. No SEC title game. They would have 100% be in the playoffs. But Alabama has to play 2 playoff play-in games to solidify their spot, whereas Notre Dame has to play an unranked Stanford team, okay, to get into the playoffs and finish out 10-2. That's coming after playing Syracuse, and that's after playing another no-name team. So Notre Dame absolutely has it made, okay? Oklahoma, this is a team that has really good defense. They have to beat LSU to solidify their spot. John Mateer, I feel that he hasn't played his best football yet, and they have a really big defense. And they showcased that when they beat Alabama, although I think Alabama had a lot of self-inflicted wounds in that game, clearly. Miami, what's going to happen here? So let me tell you about Miami. Miami right now, in my opinion, is a placeholder for an ACC team. And I don't like how the seeding committee continues to put them there because, let me tell you this, and you got to watch this. Miami is not even slated to play in the ACC championship game. Virginia and SMU have to lose for Miami to even get into the ACC championship game. SMU and Virginia are not likely to lose this weekend, okay? That would mean that you have to take the ACC champ, and then does Miami get in as a 2-loss team? You see what I'm saying? It would. I'm thinking that SMU wins and they win the ACC title game, and you have SMU in the playoffs, and then Miami becomes a bubble team. I'm serious. Watch that. And they're not. I don't know if they're telling that you on the broadcast, but that's what's going to happen. Miami's not even slated to play in the ACC title game. Say it one more time. Okay, Oregon. Oregon's creeping up a little bit on my radar. Good win against USC. I love the competitive spirit of their coach. They got a really good quarterback and a pretty good defense. Their lone loss comes against Indiana, right? They lost by 10 at home. Oregon plays this week against Washington. Against Washington, they're only a 6-point favorite. Who's to say that Jedd Fisch, right? And I don't even want to scare you all, but do you know what with Jedd Fisch, you know where he's favored to go from Washington? Has anybody seen the odds? He's right now creeping up to be the favorite at Florida. If Fisch leaves from Washington, Washington is going to have a coaching vacancy. Just saying. Okay. Alabama. This is a team, it has to be a one-game season for the Tide. They have to be able to beat Auburn clearly. Everybody knows that. How does Alabama take a step forward? Well, they have to beat Auburn. But is it that clear-cut? Not necessarily, because after that, guess what? They have another playoff play-in game. No other team on the board that I can think of has a harder route to get into the playoffs still than Alabama. They have to beat two teams, right? They have to play the biggest rival, win that game on the road, and then they have to play in the SEC title against the top 4 team. That's crazy. And I still feel that loss against Florida State is going to be held heavily against the Tide. Because you look at the other 2 lost teams, right? Notre Dame doesn't have 2 bad losses, right? I just think the unranked loss to Florida State is still burning, right? Ole Miss, and I've said this again, I'm going to take some calls in a minute too. Again, if you want to call and sound off, I'll take a couple more calls before we bounce out. But my theory with Ole Miss, and you've heard me talk about this before, is this team penalized if they win, finish out 11-1, and everybody leaves the program to follow Lane Kiffin? Are they the same type of a team? And you know what? Ole Miss has it made in the shade. I wish that Alabama had the route that Ole Miss had. Ole Miss can finish out the season 11-1, and they're not even in the SEC championship game. Extra time to recruit, extra time to practice. So that's where we're at. So Bama right now at the number 10 spot. I'll take a few more calls before I dip out. I'm actually going to grill some chicken here in a minute, so won't be too long, but I want to hear from you. Call in the show, 417, you're up. Hey, is this Timothy?
Yes, sir.
Timothy, where you at, bro?
I am in DeSoto, Texas.
DeSoto, Texas. Oh, man, that's some good high school football. Holy cow. All right, Timothy, what's up, man? Come with it.
Yes, sir. The one thing that is confusing and is kind of infuriating is that USC lost to about 15 to Oregon. They did have a chance in that game, and they dropped 2 spots. But Vandy did move up, and then I think Utah should be moved down more than 1. I think Vandy should jump Utah because if you give up 500 yards rushing, you should not even be in the conversation. I'm sorry, you shouldn't be in the conversation. And the Notre Dame Alabama stuff, it's starting to make sense with the running game and stuff, but still Notre Dame plays cupcakes all year, and the only 2 good teams they play, they lose to. And then if we have a common opponent, if we beat Auburn, do our thing, we play Texas A&M, would Bama get a bye if we win that? And if say that Texas Tech won and, Ohio State won and all that, would we be in the top 4 too? All of that is going to be confusing to sort out. But this year is going to be the most chaotic year probably in the history of college football because if Alabama loses the SEC championship game and Michigan beats Ohio State, and if Indiana beats Ohio State in the Big Ten title game, no one's talking about Ohio State could potentially have 2 losses. Where would they end up? Because they haven't played really much of anybody other than Texas, and that's about it, and Washington. So what would happen to them if Indiana was to beat them? It's going to be a crazy selection show if everything happens the way that we don't expect it to.
Yeah, absolute chaos. And I think chaos starts if you have Michigan beating Ohio State, right? Then it starts getting really weird because you have Miami, who's 10-2. You have Michigan, who's 10-2. You have Vanderbilt, who's 10-2. You have Bama, theoretically, if they lose the SEC title game, 10-3. There's a lot of teams kind of in that area that you could think about, right? Even Utah, as you said, or what about a BYU? What happens if BYU somehow gets hot and they win. Think about this is a scary team. We have to root against BYU. If BYU wins this weekend and then they win again in the Big 12 championship game, there is no way in hell that Texas Tech is getting left out of the playoffs. So it's going to be Texas Tech and BYU. That's going to bump somebody out, right? 100%. I mean, that kind of falls under the other chaos area. But I got a 337, man, so I'll catch you next time. Be safe on the road in DeSoto, Timothy.
I appreciate it.
Yep, take it easy. All right, I think we got David. Let's see if this is David. David, is that you?
Oh, yeah, man. What's going on, bro?
David calling in from Louisiana. Come with it, bro.
Yeah, I'm in enemy territory with them LSU Tigers who barely made it out of the Western Kentucky. Oh, I was hoping WKU would have beat them. But anyways, bro, I totally agree with pretty much everybody saying on here. One of my biggest problems with Alabama is, and y'all seen it, I'm pretty sure everybody's seen it. If we get the ball first in the first quarter, they kick off to us, we stall big time. We can't put points on the board in the first possession. And if we do, our kicker, he can't kick 28 yards. That's, being sarcastic there. But anyways, if you go back and you look at how Auburn has played all year long, yes, their record doesn't show justice on how good that they're, really good or not. But their biggest loss of the year was to Georgia by 10 points. By 10 points. Everybody else was by 7 points or less. So that kind of gives me, because this is a rival. This is going to be a knockdown, drag out in the trenches. And even Caden Proctor said today that it's not going to be some fun game. Even Tim Keenan and all them, they got to get their cleats in the ground, get them knuckles white as can be, and start laying some wood on somebody, and we can't turn the ball over. That's what, put the nail in our foot against Oklahoma, with the turnovers we had, because we was moving the ball. We can move the ball on anyone if we can, our receivers can catch and try to get extra yardage, and I'm hoping and praying that, I don't know the update on Cuevas. I don't know if he's out for the rest of the year. Rumor is he's supposedly out the rest of the year. I don't know. He's one of the big key factors to our passing game. He's a really good blocker, going downfield when he ain't getting the ball. But we have got to be 100% consistent and just put points on the board. We can't turn the ball over. Ty's going to have to be on point. Evidently, they do got a really good defense. I don't watch them. Only time I watch them is whenever they play us. And but I just had to look a while ago to see what their games have been like. If they got blown out big time. And the biggest one I seen was Georgia. And that kind of puts a little concern, especially with the rival game. But anyways, as far as the playoff bracket goes, I agree with everybody. There's no sense in Notre Dame even being ranked ahead of pretty much anybody in the top 10 because they don't play nobody. They play cupcakes, kind of like Ohio State. And if there's any Ohio State fans in here, I'm sorry to burst your bubble, but go look at who y'all played so far. Probably the biggest team y'all played so far this year, other than who y'all fixing to play this weekend, who I believe is going to beat them by at least 14 points, was Texas. So I believe Ohio State's going to have a one loss. And as far as us playing in the SEC championship, the way this committee hates Alabama so much, this is just my gut feeling. I hope and pray to God I'm wrong. If we win out in regular season, and we do go to the SEC championship, and we do happen to lose somehow, I feel like they're going to find a way to try to keep us out. They're going to bring up another BS thing, the run game mess or, whatever. But they'll come up with some excuses. They don't want to see Bama in the playoffs because they know with what's in front of Bama, if we do make the playoffs, will be pretty much easy wins. unless we face Georgia, because I think we could throttle Indiana. I'm pretty sure we'd throttle Ohio State and several of these other teams in front of us. But with that being said, brother, you know how I always end. God bless each and every one of you. Happy Thanksgiving, and God bless the United States of America.
Yeah, I
Love
appreciate
y'all.
it, man.
Roll Tide, roll.
Good to see you, bro. All right, yeah, good to hear from David
brother.
out in Louisiana. We got a 601 and a 352 coming up next. Yo, this is in from 100-yard check. He says, look, the committee still feels that Notre Dame is a complete team that deserves to be ranked where they are ahead of Alabama and Miami. So they're looking at a completed team. And I guess my rebuttal to that would be asking 100-yard check about Alabama's defense, about Alabama's top 4 wins. And I'm not, look, right now it doesn't matter because we're not in the playoffs. But, you know, at a point in time, it's going to come down to these 3 teams, okay? Specifically, if Alabama doesn't win the SEC title game. And I feel that Alabama has the toughest route to get into the playoffs as opposed to Miami and Notre Dame. Miami just has to beat Pittsburgh, and they're in. Pittsburgh's not good. They're not a good football team, okay? And neither is Stanford, okay? Who would you rather play this weekend? Pittsburgh? Who's the better team? Inside the comment box, fam. Who's the tougher team to beat? Stanford, Pittsburgh, or Auburn? And this isn't like some crazy fan. Auburn would probably beat Miami. Auburn would be one hell of a matchup for Notre Dame. Promise you, right? All right, 601. Hey, Jay, what's up, man? Appreciate you calling in from Pensacola, man. Where are you on the road to these days?
I'm in Kentucky right now. I'm near Louisville, Kentucky.
You almost by are you by Baxter? That's where Bama Dave is at, man. Call him up and eat something. I don't know where Baxter is. I'm gonna have to look that up. All right,
I already ate some Arby's tonight. All right.
All right, Jay, call. What's up, man? Calling in from the road.
Man, Miami a completed team is a joke to me. I mean, who have they played? Like seriously. And I hope what Josh Pate said was right last week. He said last week was Sunday. He said if Bama makes the SEC championship and lose, that he doubt that they'll leave Bama out, considering the SMU thing from last year. Even though SMU only had one loss at that point. But the much knowledge he got, and he think the committee won't leave him out, which I hope he's right. I mean, I'm assuming they don't look at the strength of schedule. They go strictly off eye test. If we were playing Northwestern and a whole bunch of FCS teams, we would be undefeated right now. But you go. The committee got something with Notre Dame. To where they just think Notre Dame cannot be left out. Like we need to go independent. We like you said many times before, Kyle. We need to go independent.
If Alabama went independent, and look, I'll show you guys. Look, I show you the schedule that Notre Dame was able to play this year, and we got another super chat in. M. Logan taking care of us tonight. Look, this is Notre Dame's schedule. All right, I go full screen. All right, so their key wins this year against USC, Navy, Pittsburgh. All right, they lost against Miami and they lost against Texas A&M. They played 2-9 Purdue. They played 2-9 Arkansas. Played Boise, NC State, 1-10 Boston College, 3-8 Syracuse, and they're about to play 4-7 Stanford. So Notre Dame is a complete team, okay, against this type of a schedule. But let me ask you this, inside the comment box. Why are we so, why are we so worried about Notre Dame? For me, if you would ask that question, I just feel that at the end of the day that these two teams might be compared against each other for the last spot in the playoffs. That's why I'm concerned. Plus, I think it's an injustice that Notre Dame doesn't have to play in a conference championship game. They don't. They're done. After this weekend, they take care of 4-7 Stanford, and they're done.
I think it's unfair. I ain't gonna lie. I think it's. I mean, my opinion doesn't matter, but I think it's unfair for them to not play a conference, to not be in the conference, and I have to worry about losing a conference championship and make the playoffs every year. How is that fair to our other conferences?
All right, Jay. I appreciate you calling in, man. Be safe on the road, bro.
Appreciate the car. Roll Tide, love you.
All right, love you too, dog. Yo, you didn't say God is the greatest. Usually Jay Bansai says God is the greatest. I'll get you this time. God is the greatest. That's what he always says, leaving. Look, so I guess your check said this. He said that he did he do the 6-7 reference? What the hell does that even mean? So I guess he did the 6-7 reference. We didn't have any discussion on Ole Miss and its coach when asked if Lane Kiffin leaving would affect the ranking. That's my biggest question. Who asked that? All right, 352. Hey, thanks for calling. You're on the line with Kyle Anderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
What up, Kyle? This is Trent. I'm calling back in on the road from Orlando.
Thanks for calling back, bro.
Yeah. I'm calling, and then to the undefeated, I'm only going to the Egg Bowl because my nephew played at Ole Miss, and he's devastated because he thinks Lane's leaving. But, man, the committee, there's a bunch of clowns, man. How'd you get on there, and the first thing you say is 6-7? Like, that's a song about killing people, putting people in the grave 6 feet deep, 7 feet wide. That's the first thing you say whenever.
Is that what it means?
That's what it means.
Oh,
I don't know. I've never seen so many suburban people relate to something that's just so sinister. Like, it means 6 feet deep, 7 feet wide. It's
crazy.
a diss song talking about killing people.
I didn't know that.
So I never seen nothing like this in my life.
Wow.
So, yeah, my son is banned from saying. I coach Little League football, and nobody on the team can say it. If you say it, you don't play.
Yeah, I'm gonna relay that to my daughter too. So I appreciate the heads up, man. What else, man? When you're kind of looking at the bracket, Ole Miss. Let me ask you this, since you maybe have a tie-in. It sounds like you have a tie-in to Ole Miss. Do you think that my whole theory will hold true? That if Ole Miss finishes out and Lane goes somewhere else, will they? I mean, are they still making the playoffs, Trent?
I think they will, but I think that with this committee, they may try to hold it against their heads, man, just because their coach decided to go somewhere else because it was beneficial to him. I think they will, but I think they still make the playoffs because they only are a one-loss team, and they only lost one game to Georgia. So I think they'll still make it. They may be, the bottom of the seed, but I think they'll still make it. But this is crazy, man. I think we should just burn all the conferences. All the conferences just go away. Nobody plays a conference championship no more. Just get rid of all the conference. Just do it like that, man, at this point, because why you play the games? Why are we playing the games at this point? This is wild. That was crazy. And then for him to get on there and start off with 6-7, this is just all a game to them, man. You got kids that are working so hard and they're trying to get to a place, and then you got guys that's getting up referencing songs that don't have anything to do with their job is. I never seen something just so sinister. I can't believe he got up there and said that first, man. I think he should go to the same place where the last chair committee went. They need to take him off the committee. He shouldn't have never did that.
The last two guys that they've had for the committee have been the last guy. He got in trouble for the off the field stuff, and then Hunter, I think he's off to a bad start. All right, Trent, I appreciate you calling in, bro. Hey, enjoy the Egg Bowl. Sounds like with your family. Have a good Thanksgiving. Call back, bro. I always love hearing from you, man.
Yes, sir. Roll Tide.
All right, roll Tide to you, man. I love me some Trent. Usually when Trent comes on, I know tonight was a little bit more rushed, which I don't know. It wasn't rushed. I'm not in a rushed. Actually, low key, I'm hungry, so I'm gonna take one more call. I'm gonna dip out. But usually Trent asks me some questions. We play Fast Money. Remember Family Feud, right? All right, let's take this 417. Hey, you're on the line with Kyle Anderson. Who am I on the line with and where are you calling in from?
Hey, Kyle. Sorry, I called again. I forgot to say something earlier.
Oh, wait.
And,
Timmy, let me introduce you, dog. All right, I saw the 417. I was like, oh, Timmy's calling back, man. Yeah, sometimes Angel likes to double dip, but tonight you got Timmy on the road, DeSoto. He's calling. He has something else to say. So, Timmy, get off your mind, dog.
Yes, sir. Okay, so I typed this in the chat, and I haven't emphasized this enough. This weekend, we need to be LSU fans, Mississippi State fans, Stanford fans. We need to be any fan that's above us right now that their opponent is. We need Stanford to pull them. We need Mississippi State to, which they're definitely capable of doing it. They went to overtime with Texas.
Yeah.
And we need Oklahoma to lose against LSU, which that is very possible because they are both very good defenses. And I feel like if LSU was to win that game, then we would be boosted up. And I feel like Vandy, Miami, and all of them would start. I don't know if Miami would make it unless they get in the ACC championship game. And then that if they lose to that, Ole Miss does, and then their coach dips, they're out. But if they do win that game, I feel like they would be in unless every good player just transferred out to go wherever Lane's going. And man, it's going to be scary to see Kalen DeBoer versus Lane Kiffin next year if he goes to LSU. That's going to be a crazy game to watch. It's probably going to be the scariest game to watch if I'm thinking of it like that. But I just want to get that off my chest because I was a Pittsburgh fan freaking this weekend watching Pitt versus Notre Dame either this weekend or last weekend.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, they got to pull it off. We got to get Notre Dame out of here, dude. And last thing is we play Notre Dame in the first game of the year in 2027 or 2028. I think we play Ohio State 2027. But 2028 and 2029, we play Notre Dame back-to-back years for the first game. So if we want that revenge, we got to kick their butt in 3 years. So
I appreciate it, man. Thanks for double dipping, man. Be safe on the road to me.
Appreciate it.
Yo, fam, before I dip out, okay, the ESPN broadcast is on. For my Alabama basketball fans, okay, I want you to watch. I just saw it out of the corner of my eye, okay? This number 55 for Arizona State is exactly who Alabama basketball needs. I know it's a college playoff show tonight. Will you just promise me, you watch 5 minutes of this game and let me know if you agree. It's on commercial right now, but 55 for Arizona State. I saw one play of him and I'm already impressed. That's where I think they're lacking, right? Their big men aren't as athletic as they need them to be for what Alabama's trying to do. Anyways, final assessment on this bracket. Look, it's pretty much the same bracket as it was last time. And I think Timmy brings up a great point. You kind of have to root for a couple teams that are ahead of Alabama. Like Oklahoma losing to LSU, theoretically, that could definitely happen. It would be nice for Miami just to lose to Pittsburgh and just completely be vanished. And I think you might have to just look at this graphic, right? Okay, Oklahoma playing LSU, Notre Dame, they're going to win. They're in. Miami playing Pittsburgh, who knows? Utah, they probably win. Vanderbilt, this isn't a team that I think is going to make the playoffs, but I think a team that could beat a lot of these other teams. This is a good football team. And then Michigan, you kind of have to root for Ohio State to beat Michigan. Because if Michigan beats Ohio State, they're going to finish 10-2, not be in the Big Ten championship game, and then just be like a 10-2 at large. That's a scary team if they're able to have a win over number one Ohio State. So there's a lot to talk about, clearly. I will catch you on the 4 a.m. podcast, Wake Up Bama. So I got to go grill some chicken, eat some chicken, and then come back up and cut the podcast. And then I will be live at 10 a.m. Central Time. Tomorrow is a call-in show. And I know we took a lot of call volume tonight regarding the playoffs, but tomorrow we are going to have a call-in show regarding the Iron Bowl and, of course, talk about Thanksgiving. Okay, so that's our show tomorrow. We'll do call-in show and Iron Bowl and Thanksgiving. That'll be our blended show for tomorrow. Okay, so I appreciate you guys kicking it with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. This is fun. I didn't anticipate to go, 2 hours or close to that, but there's a lot to talk about as we get to the back end of the college football season. So I will talk to you guys 4 a.m. tomorrow morning. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for kicking it with me. Thank you very much for the super chats and for calling in and talking some Bama football with me right here on Bama Football on YouTube. See you, fam. Say your prayers. Good night. We'll catch you soon.